Welcome to Go, a TV web series where presenters aged 10 to 16 explore entertainment, the arts, cool people and places.
Today on Go, Christian speaks to 14-year-old Georgia Raft about writing music and creating her very own music video. The team let their hair down at the Royal Adelaide Show, and Victoria speaks to Jen Watts, creator of the Fairies.
So don't go anywhere in 3, 2, 1, go!
There's nothing like the Royal Adelaide Show to let your hair down and have some fun. This week our presenters were given the challenge to do the show in 1 hour. We all had a great time, well, except for Stella.
Show generates $165 million annually. Over 700 animals are paraded in the Grand Parade. Oh my god! Land! Oh my god! You rushed around so much! It's amazing! Oh, why couldn't you go up? Been on the ride before, so I'm a little bit scared. But look, it's so good. But it goes around and around, and when we got sat back, you were like sitting back, so it was really scary. Nearly 35,000 cappuccinos, 70,000 buckets of hot chips, and over 12,000 donuts are devoured at the Royal Adelaide Show every year. It was really fun. That was great. I thought my chest was going to get killed in there. The speed it was going.
Many of us have grown up with Rhapsody, Harmony, Barnaby and all of the wonderful characters from the Fairies. Victoria found out how those magical creatures at the bottom of the garden were created and developed into a major brand.
We're the Fairies! I'm Harmony. And I'm Rhapsody. Hi Jen, thank you so much for being here. Well, how did you come up with the concept of the Fairies?
Well, it's a long time ago now. I had a 2-year-old daughter and a 5-week-old son, and I'd always had an interest in writing, that was my career, and in singing. And I was desperate for something to keep my 2-year-old occupied while my 5-year-old needed my attention. And I was watching The Wiggles one day and went, what a fantastic way to make a living. I could entertain, I can sing, all for children, and I can get paid for it. I can make a living out of it. So that was the start of it. That was 21 years ago.
Wow. Well, as you developed the show, what were some of the highlights?
Being able to indulge in my passions of music and writing and working around children. The concerts were fabulous. I love seeing the children at the concerts. Their joy is just so unrestricted. They love screaming out for Harmony and Rhapsody. There's a lot of travel involved over the years, working with really interesting people, and yeah, it's an exciting industry to work in.
You really were an innovator, creating the Brandon series while Little was being filmed in Adelaide. Was this challenging?
Yes, it's still challenging. Adelaide, the world is getting smaller, which is fabulous. The digital technology and the internet has made that possible. But Adelaide is still not a hub of filming. The South Australian Film Corporation does really well with major films, but they don't support preschool. So it's still difficult doing things in South Australia, but as I said, the world is smaller now and you can do so many meetings over Skype and FaceTime and chat to people in real time, which you couldn't do when I first started. So it's getting easier.
Millions of children throughout the world know your brand. How does that make you feel?
It's great. I love it. I've actually got an opportunity to help guide these children into being good friends, good fairies, to have good morals and to be positive about themselves and about their lives, and to introduce music and dance to their lives in a very early age. It's a fantastic opportunity. I love it.
What projects are you looking at for the future?
We're working on something now called Fairy Fitness. Fairy Fitness is to help the world's problem of childhood obesity. A lot of children aren't getting the exercise they need and aren't eating the right kind of foods. So it's combining my love of children dancing and having music in their lives with eating great food, healthy food, and having a positive start to life, positive self-esteem. So Fairy Fitness will probably be an episode rather than a TV series, and yeah, it's exciting.
Well, Jen, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to chat, and thank you for all your fabulous work.
Thanks, Victoria. I thoroughly enjoyed meeting all of you today.
Not many 13-year-olds get to write, record and film their own video clip, but Georgia Raft is doing exactly that. After starting a duet with her brother Jack, who is also one of our presenters, she's proving that no matter how old you are, if you dream big, anything is possible.
So what inspired you to become a singer?
Well, my brother Jack has always done singing and we started doing duets together. That's how Ignite formed, and then I decided maybe I'll start doing some solo stuff by myself.
What's the story behind the name Ignite?
Basically we'd formed a duo and we entered into the show for a competition and we got in luckily, and we needed a name and we're all trying to find a good name, and then I think it was Mum came up with the name Ignite. We're like, yeah, that's really catchy.
How challenging is it to produce an EP?
It's quite challenging. You need to write a certain number of songs, so an EP is like 4 to 6 songs. And you've got to work on each song and flesh it out. Sometimes you do about 12 songs and narrow the best ones down and record them.
What's your process behind songwriting?
I often come up with a story. Might be something real life, might be something I've made up. And I just come up with characters. Sometimes I draw it out and just work on the process of the story.
Is there a secret message or story in your songs?
Yeah, most of them have stories, messages. Some are just questioning songs, each is different.
What's your favourite part of performing?
The performing side of things, I do love songwriting and playing and being able to share my music to people.
Do you ever get nerves? And how do you deal with them?
I do get nervous. I don't like performing in front of other people. To deal with nerves, I just kind of, tell myself to relax when I'm performing, and what does it care? Why do you care what they think of you anyway? Like, it should be okay.
What plans do you have for the future as a musician?
Well, obviously I'd love to produce this EP and perform and possibly get more EPs out, share my music.
What advice would you give to young singers?
Continue what you're doing, do what you love. Songwriting is always a great way to go, and yeah.
Thanks, Georgie.
Thank you.
The next episode on Go is our biggest guest.
Jasper and Harry check out the Lego Ninjago movie.
Michael chats to one of Australia's biggest comedic icons, George Cabanyaris.
The girls check out Adelaide Fashion Week.
Isabel and myself taking the nightlife at the Ausasia Festival.
See you next time.
So don't go anywhere in 3,
2, 1.
Go again. Ready?